Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Post-Bac Jumpstart presented by the UCLA Career Center. Here is the agenda for today's event. We have 4 post-bac programs. Technically, the last one is actually 2 and more. So we're going to start those presentations in about 10 minutes. KGI will go first, USC, Scripps College, Western University, UC Schools of Medicine, Post-Bac Program Consortium, and UCSF's program will be presented. Just a quick reminder of an upcoming event tomorrow. It's Pathways to Medicine, Nursing, and Dentistry. So if you're pre-med, I highly recommend to attend because you can learn about DGSUM's admissions and also about the outreach and pathway programs, UCLA Prep, and SHPEP. So if you have time during the lunch hour tomorrow, you can stop by at the Career Center, 2nd floor, room 200. We're going to have cookies, coffee, and tea, and you can interact with reps from these programs. And another quick announcement, we have tons of pre-health services and resources. Some might sound familiar already. We have a pre-health website. We have a Facebook page where we share upcoming events, reminders, off-campus opportunities. You can schedule counseling sessions, pre-health appointments, virtual and in-person appointments are available on Handshake. We also send out bi-weekly pre-health newsletters. All you need to do is select healthcare as your industry preference on your Handshake account to receive it. It includes updates, event reminders, jobs in Handshake that are healthcare related, a lot of useful information. Pre-health drop-ins are hosted Fridays, virtually only. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to change the September 24th. So we have started it. We host pre-health drop-ins week 1 through 10 every quarter. And they are on Fridays, 12 to 1. And the actual link to the Zoom room can be found on the pre-health website. We have pre-med pre-health workshops just like this one. And we do have tons of recorded pre-med pre-health workshops and webinars on our YouTube channel. And that's where you can see the YouTube channel link. And we will be posting this at some point on YouTube as well. I'm gonna stop my share. And with no further ado, I will invite Alba and June to start the presentations. And as I mentioned, if you have any questions regarding the presentations or regarding the Career Center services, feel free to post them in the Q&A and in the chat.
All right. Thank you, Christina. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right. So let's go ahead and start. So this is the annual UCLA Jumpstart event. This is very special to me. I'm June Kim. I'm the director of post-baccalaureate programs at KGI. And with me today, you should all see Elba Munoz. We're both excited to be here, and we're also joined by 3 current students. I particularly love participating in this event because as an alum of UCLA, it brings back wonderful memories of my years there. And so it is really great to be here. And I want to share with you a little bit about our program. There's lots of great programs out there. I think the best programs are all here in one place for all of you. So you guys are in the right place. So first off, I think when you are a student that is attending an event such as this event, Post-Bac Jumpstart, there's sort of 2 scenarios that would apply to you if you are here. So you would fall under either a career changer post-bac program or an academic enhancer. So those are 2 different types of programs which have very different same goal, same objective, but very different in terms of the contents and pathway, because one, the career changer is for students who have not taken the prerequisites that they need And then the academic enhancement programs are for those that have taken the prerequisites already. So KGI's program is a academic enhancement program. We are located in Claremont, California. KGI acronym stands for Keck Graduate Institute. Most people, when they hear Keck, they immediately have an association connection to USC, which I know USC is here with us tonight, which is my graduate school alma mater. So I do sort of suffer from an identity crisis, having gone to UCLA and USC. So I am, I guess, what they call brogens. So hello, everybody. Thank you so much. And again, a little bit about yourself, Elba. You want to share a little bit about you, because we really focus on the relationships that we collaborate very closely with our students. So Elba, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much, June, for that introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Elba Munoz, and as my colleague mentioned earlier, I'm the Assistant Director of the Post-Bac programs here at Keck Graduate Institute. I've been serving as a health professions advisor since 2011. So combined with June and myself, we have a lot of experience working with pre-health students, post-bac students in different areas. So any questions that you have, I know that June might be able to answer, or myself or the colleagues here who are also joining us as well too. So don't be shy, take advantage of this opportunity to get those questions answered. And if I'm being honest with you, my colleagues here also have their, I do believe that they have your best interest in mind as well too. So we all want you to learn, ask your questions, take advantage of the opportunity to get to speak to students, ask them what it's like. And we want you to choose the best program that's right for you, because we believe that students can go anywhere and be able to be successful at the right program, because every program offers different things. So just keep that in mind. I went straight into the advisor's hat. Did you notice that? So I'm going to turn it over back to June so he can go ahead more in depth. Thank you.
Thanks, Elba. So we have very limited time, right? We have many different programs here tonight, and we only get 15 minutes, actually 10 minutes and 33 seconds now for us. But there's a lot of information, and I think what will be helpful if I was a student is to sort of figure out what are the signature sort of highlights of each program, because all these programs are going to have quality advising. There are going to be courses that students will need to take. So there's a lot of common elements, but I really want to take a moment to sort of highlight the differences. And again, differences are just that, they're differences. So with that, one of the absolute central message we want to convey with KGI is we are a highly community-focused program where everybody's involved, and that's why we have 3 of our current students. These students could be doing something else at this moment, right? So I want to take this precious time here to have our 3 current students in this order introduce themselves. So we'll start with Leslie. And of course, you all 3 happen to be UCLA alums. Go figure. I love these coincidences. So Leslie, you'll go first. And then Duong, you go second. And then Iruchi, you will be our third. So go ahead and decloak yourself, have your camera on, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you. I'm Leslie Contreras, and like June said, I'm also a Bruin alum. I am a master's student here. I'm going to graduate this year, actually. I have a second-year concentration for a team master's project. And what that entails is that I get to be put into a pool of great students, and we're brought into different teams based off of our qualities, just background information to help a company, whether that's biopharmaceutical or med devices. So I'm currently working with Pfizer and consulting in a big project that they have, which I signed an agreement to not really discuss, but I can definitely give you just a gist that I'm working with them. I genuinely have enjoyed my almost 2 years here. It's been quite a journey from being a Bruin to now being a bee is the new mascot that we have. It's been great to find who I am professionally and really, really find the confidence academically. Was there anything else, June? I feel like
No, that's more than enough. Yeah, I got to stop you because you're going to be giving your social security number, your bank account, and PIN. So I'm going to stop you right there. Thank you so much, Leslie. Wonderful. Duong.
Hi guys, I'm Duong. I didn't do as much as Leslie did. I was there for 1 year. I'm actually pre-dent in a pre-medical baccalaureate certificate program. So that was honestly really exciting to me. Just getting to learn a lot more stuff outside of what I generally learn as a dentist. But it was great. I liked learning about the business side when I was at KGI more so than just medical stuff. So getting to work with people who want to do like business, people who wanted to build drugs, make new drugs to put it out to the world rather than just on the more medical-ishy side of science. So that was my time there. Great.
Very good. Thanks, Duong. Thanks for pointing that out. Our program is designed for med school bound, but we've had an incredible streak of success for students who want to go into dentistry. In fact, I believe we're at 6 for 6. So no pressure on you, Duong, just saying. Last but not least, let's go to Iruchi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Iruchi. Just freshly out of UCLA, actually. June 2022 is my graduation. I'm also part of the pre-med post-bac certificate program at KGI. And to me, one of the main takeaways I've had with the program was the connections I've been able to build, just being surrounded by people with a similar mindset who are on a similar path, whether it's to dental school, medical school, PA school, just being able to build my own community and, struggle together, but also find ways to overcome barriers has been truly amazing at KGI.
Thank you for that. We are an extremely small school. So that's probably one of the biggest transitions for a lot of students to go from a big campus like UCLA to KGI. But I think it just speaks to what you're looking for. If you're looking for a bigger program, you're looking for a more flexible program, for example, there are other programs out there that would fit that bill much better than our program. Our program is much smaller. It's a cohort model. We spend a lot of time together. Students are working on projects together. So let me just go over some of the big highlight takeaways for those of you taking notes. So remember, no matter where you go for your post-bac education, you're going to be taking classes, right? You're going to be taking courses to get better grades than you did during your undergrad. That is universal. So where are the programs different? So our curriculum, certainly you want to write that down. Curriculum is very different. It's unique. It is not courses that you have probably seen before. And that's because our graduate level courses are a blend of science, usually biological sciences, engineering, and business. So our courses are very interdisciplinary in nature. And again, for some students, that might not be what they're into, and that's fine. There are so many different pathways to get to your goals. So, but for students who are looking for that unique curriculum, students who are looking for a very strong cohort, a very sense of community, because the other thing, these three, if we had the time, they would have shared with you, is the field trips. We take field trips. I mean, we all remember when we were in grade school, we would go on field trips to museums and aquariums, and we would, travel in a big yellow bus. We don't travel in a big yellow bus. We do travel in a nice big charter bus, but we go visit campuses. And that is because everything that we do is geared towards educating our students to become successful applicants. Because just getting the good grades and good test scores is not sufficient for a successful application cycle, because that's not how the admission process works. We know there are more applicants than there are seats available. So they're not using just straight academic metrics. We all know this. I'm not saying anything that's new or that anyone here hasn't heard before. And so if you are looking for a different scene, a different experience, something that's going to take you out of your comfort zone because we are a small school. And that can be nerve-wracking for some individuals because you have had sort of that luxury of anonymity, but in a small environment, it's very difficult to sort of go under the radar. And again, this is where you want to ask yourself, in what type of environment would I thrive? And so because of that smaller, intimate community, we are able to do things like 30 minutes to an hour advising appointment. We meet on campus. We meet students off campus. We do mock interviews. We record those. We'll go over as if we were a football coach on Monday, going over the game footage. We're able to do those things because of the luxury that we have less than 100 students. And yet there's at least 4 of us that work closely with our students. And of course, some of you being pre-med, pre-health, you're already doing the ratio because that's just how you think. We do have very favorable ratio of students to mentors. So that is what I have to share in terms of my perspectives highlight, but I would love to open it up back to our current students because I think students, you guys see it very clearly. So what would be one highlight for you and why? We have 1 minute and 43 seconds, no pressure.
I can go. Oh, Leslie, if you want to go.
No,
go for it, Aruchi.
I need to think.
Okay, I just wanted to go back and talk about the academic side at KGI and how, as an academic enhancer, KGI provides pathways based off of, your undergrad GPA and a possible MCAT or GRE score that you might have had, and then they help tailor the classes to where you are currently. So that way you don't feel like you're trapped in a generalized class. And then with the help of June and Elbow, you can always like switch out your classes and find topics or concepts that are more, I would say, that you're more interested in. And I think that's really important because, you're not just stuck taking the same classes as everyone. You're actually getting to delve into things that you're more interested in.
Thank you for that. Duong?
Yeah, mine would have to be the type of stuff you get to learn. So not just the science stuff where I'm also really interested in, but I got to learn about the business side, the business things, and about making drugs. Because as a dentist, I would also want to make my own business one day. So getting to learn about business and marketing, like how to get all of that done, that's really beneficial for me, and that's my takeaway from KGI.
Very good. Thank you for that. Leslie, last but not least, you're our anchor here. You got 10 seconds.
Oh my God. Okay. A huge highlight for me was the opportunities where I got to do a lot of things hands-on. I was a diabetic clinic director and just organized clinics for Pomona, organized health events strictly in Spanish for Pomona parents for high-risk morbidities. And now, as my second year, I am now a clinic advisory. I kind of manage all clinics on campus now, and I'm able to do different stuff with like marketing. Now I am in charge of the newsletter for KGI. So I'm able to sort of create opportunities for myself, strategize and optimize them so that I can see how that can work for me for the application cycle.
Fantastic. What I would summarize all what you said, Leslie, is you've had opportunities to flex your leadership. And that is definitely something that is very important for the path you're taking. So, and last but not least, and I have to give Elba an opportunity. What do you think, Elba, is the big highlight of our program besides me? Go ahead.
Well, then that would be me. The best highlight of this program. Honestly, what I'm going to say, and I'll make it very short and brief. Students that come here, I get to see a lot of their growth in many ways, not only academically, because you can get that done anywhere academically, but I see students come in very shy and come out a bit more extrovert, confident in their abilities, and they are strong leaders to take on any health profession program that they apply themselves to. So if you come here, you can go anywhere, or should I say you can grow anywhere. So I'll leave it at that. Back to you, June.
Nope, that's it. That's all we have to say. So stick around, everybody. We will be here until the very end for the Q&A session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, June. Thank you, Alba. Thank you, students. And you have a few questions in the Q&A for your team, so feel free to answer them. And we will be moving on to USC. Christian, feel free to take it over.
Thank you, Christina. Hello, everybody. So I'd like to just, following June, say that this is really always a highlight of the year to be involved in sort of this event hosted by the UCLA Career Center. And Christina, thank you to you, and thank you to the Career Center for continuing to put on such a really nice opportunity to engage with people interested in furthering their education. What I'd like to do is to share a brief PowerPoint. I'll try to take about 6 or 7 minutes doing that, and it's set up to give you a brief introduction to our program. Just to say something about that, so I am a faculty member in the Department of Integrative Anatomical Sciences at the Keck School of Medicine. So there are all sorts of master's and PhD programs within the Keck School of Medicine. So I today am representing the Integrative Anatomical Sciences program and talking to you specifically about our Master's of Science degree. Following this, a couple slides on the profile of the program, then I can introduce you virtually anyways to some of the faculty and talk a little bit about our facilities. I have a couple of slides to give you an idea of what the curriculum is for our one-year program. And then there's a slide or two about some information on admissions. And then after I speak for about 7 minutes or so, there's a recent graduate of our program, Dara Bruce, who's thankfully joined us today, and she'll speak to you about her experiences in the program, and also just since she was at one time in your shoes, provide some insight into things she considered in making decisions. And so, yeah, again, to reiterate something that June said, all of the programs presenting today are really outstanding options and really great opportunities. And so you're finding out something about each of them, and in some ways, each program will be a little bit different, and there will be a lot of similarities as well. And so I think we're just trying to give you an idea of what our program is designed to do, and if that works for you, we'd love to speak with you more. So I'll go ahead and share now. Okay, so I've wound up at the end. Let me go back to the beginning. So our program is in the Department of Integrative Anatomical Sciences. It's a Master's of Science degree. Some of our motivations for offering this program are to address a shortage of anatomy instructors, and so we are interested in sort of helping to meet this need and to build the next generation of anatomy teachers. And of course, also we're interested in helping you prepare for careers in medicine, dentistry, allied health programs, or PhD programs. We've had graduates go on to PhD programs in biological sciences. So we sort of have a dual-pronged purpose in the program and how it's designed. We typically try to limit ourselves to 12 students or sort of tops 15. We do this so that we can keep a very small student faculty ratio. We like to have as close to 1-to-1 as we can. Our faculty most of us are funded researchers. And so the research interests are, you can see examples here: functional anatomy, bone biology, neurobehavior, and a lot of us have anthropological backgrounds. So there are research opportunities, but our master's program is coursework only. So this is an important point. There's no thesis involved. It's 1 year of coursework. We do use all 12 months, so we squeeze every bit of time out of that year that we can. And so this means it starts in the summer and then it goes through the fall and the spring semesters. Our focus is training in the core anatomy programs. So this would be gross anatomy, microanatomy or histology, neuroanatomy, and skeletal anatomy. And all of the classes are at the health sciences campus of USC. That's in Boyle Heights. Here is sort of a listing of all the people in our department. So we are a rather small department. This is partly why we try to keep the class size small, just to have that 1-to-1 ratio. This is not our lab, but it gives you an idea of what to expect in our gross anatomy lab. We integrate IT and digital resources, but it's all dissection based using human donors. In terms of the curriculum, again, we focus training in the core classes, and then we also have room in the curriculum for electives. So we allow you to design your own curriculum to some extent, and oftentimes people choose to take a more detailed investigation of regional anatomy or physiology. This is quite popular for students that are interested in medical programs. And also, I should go back, there are opportunities for research, although that's not necessary to graduate from the program. So in the summer, we tend to focus pretty rigorously on anatomy. It's 5 days a week, 4 hours a day for the 8 weeks of the summer. And the reason that we do this is because that allows us then to integrate you into teaching opportunities with our medical curriculum. So we involve you as TAs of sorts in medical classes later in the program. It's dissection based, and we emphasize passing this course in the summer just to have a firm foundation in anatomy. Then a typical fall has students choosing an elective from among these options and then taking histology, neuroanatomy. These are taught, it's the same courses that the medical students are taking here at Keck. So that the curriculum gives a nice exposure to what's expected in the medical degree program. In the spring, then we continue with some of the same courses, and then you also have the elective, and you can see the importance here of the teaching practicum, where you have opportunities to be in the lab and help the faculty in giving instruction to medical students. So our admissions deadline is February 1st, and that's for full consideration for a scholarship that we're able to award. We do accept applications after February 1st, so please don't let February 1st be sort of the last date for considering our program. We can consider applications usually all the way through into April. And here's just a general idea of what that involves. We don't focus on test scores. You can submit them, but we focus more on just your statement of purpose. Why are you interested in this program, so we can make sure it's a mutually good fit? We really want to make sure you're getting out of the program what you want to get out of the program. And also the letters of recommendation and the transcripts from your academic performance. Here is some information on the program director, Dr. Luton, and an email address. I'll leave this up for a moment, and then I'm going to stop sharing and invite Dara to reveal herself and continue. And yes, we look forward to answering any questions you may have.
You have a few in the Q&A as we speak.
Okay. Dara, I can do those Q&A questions if you want to go ahead and say a few words. Thank you.
That sounds great. Hi, guys. So yes, I'm a recent graduate. I graduated this last May 2022. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes,
Yeah?
we can.
Okay, Perfect. Yeah, so I graduated May 2022, and I was, as Dr. Carlson said, once in your shoes. I was not only a career changer, but an academic enhancer. So there were a lot of considerations that I was looking into when I was looking into a post-bac program for pre-med. And one of the things that I was looking at was, well, you know, all of these programs, again, offer amazing things. There's pros and cons to all of them. It just depends on what you need to get out of it. But at the same time, you know, I wanted to show that not only could I excel in undergrad courses, but I could excel academically at a graduate and specifically a medical graduate level. So that was a huge consideration for me. So once I ruled that out in terms of searching for a post-bac program, I said, okay. I applied to a few of them, and a huge thing for me was a sense of community and a sense of support, because I recognized at this time that I needed help. And I wasn't going to get help in, you know, like a 10-to-1 or a 20-to-1, like, you know, student ratio. So this program, that was a huge pull for me for this program. And I definitely felt like it lived up to that. Dr. Carlson actually was my mentor, and is still actually my mentor as I apply to medical schools this year, and has helped me a lot. And I think that this program has provided me with a lot of unique opportunities that I might not have had in other programs. And like I said, you know, N equals 1, and there's you know, pros and cons to each of the programs, and there's definitely unique aspects to all programs. But I think for me also the opportunity to TA in medical anatomy courses, and to, you know, speak to current medical students, be kind of like, you know, in the current medical school environment, and get to talk to different people about things that I could do to strengthen my application was a huge plus. Definitely don't regret that. And I think it's helped a lot in terms of building my application. And again, like the whole cohort of us, we're a tight-knit community. We still talk to each other and still kind of keep up with each other. Since then, there's been a lot of opportunities. I think a good amount of us have gone into research, so become clinical research coordinators or clinical research assistants. Some of us had the opportunity to continue to TA for the dental school. So for those of you that are pre-dental, that is a consideration. There's actually someone in the current cohort right now, I believe, that is pre-dental, and, you know, took this program for that reason, I believe. So there's that to consider as well. I think, yeah. So I think in terms of all of that, it was really the best choice for me personally in terms of a post-bac program. I felt very supported the whole time. I felt like I learned a lot, and I learned a lot in detail. And these classes, Dr. Carlson, I know Dr. Carlson, you know, didn't say, but like these classes, if they're not taught with the medical students, they are taught by medical professors, and the lectures are the same as what the medical students receive. So, you know, it really kind of gives, for those of you that are considering pre-med, an idea of the rigor of medical school classes, and, you know, gives you sort of I feel personally, a better preparation. So I'm really incredibly happy with the program. I'm actually not sure how I'm doing on time. I'm horrible at keeping track of time. I could really go on for days about this program. I felt like it was the best choice for me, and I learned a lot. Okay.
Thank you, Dara.
Yeah,
we can take this opportunity to, if you have any questions, I'm trying to go through them in the Q&A. But I think just maybe to also, while we're waiting for some to arise, it is worth saying that all of the faculty that in our program are ones that are also involved in medical education. So some of the classes that we teach are sort of organized around meeting of the medical curriculum. So we sometimes will have classes that are solely given for the master's students, and sometimes we'll have classes where master's and medical students are combined together. And also some of our classes in the medical curriculum, and some of the classes in our master's program curriculum are actually intended to give more detail even than we teach the medical students. And this is in part for teaching purposes. So if we're trying to create people that are well qualified for teaching anatomy, then we want to make sure that their knowledge of anatomy is even more detailed than the medical students. So yeah, we try to hit the details.
Thank you so much. Because there are so many questions, and some of them probably are asked, you know, it's better to answer it in person, online, so others can hear it. So for example, one question as the GPA requirements for programs, and the other one whether letters of recommendation will be given by program directors after completion of your program. So Christian, can you start with that? And then I'm going to ask June to answer that too for KTI.
Sure. So I'm seeing 3 questions. Really quickly, I can say our program does not have any linkages with medical or dental schools after completion of the program. There's no guarantee of any interviewing within CAC or otherwise. We look at GPA and we specifically focus on science background. And so we like for GPAs to be higher than a 3.0, but we specifically look at the science background just to make sure that students are not going to struggle in any really desperate sort of way. And then I think that the last one was, I think that hits them. Yeah.
The letters of recommendation was one too.
Thank you, Christina. So I think like any of the programs would probably say what's best to when you're trying to pick out a good recommender to write the letter, it should be someone that knows you. If you're volunteering in an emergency room or in a clinic, that would be someone who's sort of overseeing your work, someone that knows your capabilities and your dedication. It doesn't have to be a faculty member or someone that maybe was teaching you in a class. Now, bear in mind, you also don't want to have a friend or a parent. You sort of have to be strategic, but it does not have to be a professor at your undergraduate institution.
I will add, I'm going to jump in and add really quickly. I will add that I think I understand what they're saying. Sometimes these programs have like a committee letter or something like that, or like something from the program director. And that's definitely an option. Dr. Luton, her door is always open if you'd like to have a letter from her. But I will also say that because of the program size, you get to know each of the individual professors really well. So depending on your relationship with each professor, like you might get multiple letters, and that honestly might be better than, just a committee letter, because they can speak to different aspects of your personality instead of like, just like one, like, generic letter type thing. So I will add that. I found that actually better.
Thank you, Dara. June, do you have anything to add from KTI on these topics, or Alba?
I just typed some of the answers there.
Okay.
So hopefully that answers. I know there was a question in there regarding letters of recommendation, as well as linkages. So I answered all of that. Yeah, I'm not as a fast typist as I used to be. So but I will be scouring the Q&A, and
okay.
If I see questions, I will answer it. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're gonna move on. We are still on time. It's amazing. So Dietra, you're next from Scripps.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having us. We have 3 of our students here who will speak in just a couple of moments. I look forward to you getting a chance to meet Greer, Derek, and April. But in the meantime, I'm going to just do a brief overview of our program so that you have a sense of what it is that's being offered at Scripps specifically. And so Scripps College is a little bit different than what we've spoken about so far, in that our program is really geared towards career changers. So we are inviting students who do not have a background in science to come forward into our program. The Career Changer program that we offer at Scripps was developed and designed by faculty members. It is really based in the foundation of basic science requirements that are needed to apply to professional school. We work with pre-dental, pre-vet, and pre-med students with a 98% acceptance rate into medical school. And really that is professional school is what I should clarify with that. And so what do we offer? We offer the required coursework. So if you were an English major or a psychology major and never really entertained the idea of being a doctor until later in your academic career, this is a place where you could manage that process. And our program begins in the summer with 3 courses, Intro Chem and Intro Bio. In the fall semester, our students then move into organic chemistry, physics, and vertebrate physiology. And the final term is organic chemistry, general physics, and biochemistry. And in 1 year, students are able to accomplish the requirements to apply then to the professional schools of their choice. While they're taking this coursework, we also require them to spend at least 4 hours a week doing something outside of the classroom. It could be clinical volunteer work. It could be more community service, like you'll see on the form here with maybe a Schools on Wheels or Planned Parenthood or an AIDS project. Or several of our students also work in research, both at Casa Colina, City of Hope, Loma Linda, the Keck Science Center, which is our undergraduate science center. And it really depends on where they are in their journey and what they need to be competitive for medical school. We do partner with some off-campus organizations for our MCAT preparation. Our students have spent extensive hours doing research for us. And over many years of student feedback and intensive student research, we have chosen Blueprints and Kaplan, and those are working really well for our students right now. We get positive feedback about those every year. So in the midst of this career changer program, our core values really are fundamentally based in teamwork. This is a collaborative program, and the courses are taught in a collaborative manner. You're expected to work with your peers to accomplish goals together. We're really looking for people from all backgrounds. We will see people coming from very different life experiences, very different identities, and that's really valuable to us as we look to support a diverse physician network moving forward to serve our greater community and to be a part of the post-bac community. We really are looking for peers that will support each other academically, emotionally, personally, and to hold each other up during this year of transition in their lives. As they move through this process, we do offer them guaranteed enrollment in the necessary courses. We do offer the composite letter, which is co-written by myself and our faculty director. We have a plan for MCAT preparation that our alumni guide them through and they use a formal process for. And there really is probably more access to tutoring than our students would have hours to actually attend. They just have to find the tutoring profile that works best for their learning style. In addition to that, we do extensive professional development workshops ranging from how to write the personal statement to videotaping interviews and personalized academic and professional advising. Students have one-on-one access to me as the primary health advisor, really at any point in their process. They simply get on a website, click a link and get on my calendar and can meet with me as often as they would like. We do have linkage opportunities. What a linkage opportunity does is that it allows a student to move directly from the Scripps Postbac program in May into medical school in July or August without having to go through the traditional application process. So these all have unique characteristics, and we work through these with each student individually to make the best choice for their journey. But you'll see on the list here the schools that we offer those linkage experiences with. About a third of every class takes advantage of linkage, and many other students will go into the regular application pool and end up all over the country at various institutions. Several of our alums choose to stay in California. Many of them choose to go on into other places, but they're all doing quite well and successful in their quest to become physicians. So if Scripps is the right fit for you because you are a non-science major and you're trying to turn that corner, these are some things to keep in mind. We're looking for people that can balance a rigorous load, both inside and outside the classroom. For individuals that can clearly articulate why they want to go into medicine, and that really embody our core values, somebody that wants to be a part of a diverse community and work together with other people to accomplish their goals. So as you look at Scripps and kind of who has been successful in our admissions process over the last 5 years, this is a general profile. There is no perfect applicant to Scripps. Everybody's different. And that's what we love about building a class. You know, there needs to be the capacities to excel academically, but also the capacity to be a part of our community and to provide to the greater good of medicine moving forward. Our students come from all over. We have a lot of students from UCLA. In fact, one of the students here tonight is a UCLA alum that can speak to you. All kinds of majors, from theater to Spanish to psychology. And our very basic bottom line is this: you need to have a bachelor's degree with a minimum of a 3.0. And we do look at this point for a standardized test. I expect that will change in the next year or two. We do look for people who've tested out this idea that they want to go into medicine with a little bit of volunteering, hopefully, and a non-science background. Our admissions process is currently open. It is rolling admissions, and we're still receiving and processing applications for the class that will begin in May. We'd love to talk to you more about that and see an application from you, if this is the right fit for you. And if this is a further off idea, these are things that you could really be doing now to be a strong applicant for Scripps and career changer programs in general. Start volunteering in a clinical setting, get involved in your community, pick up a calculus course or a psychology course if you haven't had a chance to do that, and reach out to us if you have questions. And that's really what I want to share just in terms of the basics. We value what we do. We truly enjoy our community and would love to answer your questions. And at this time, I'd like to ask our students to speak. So Greer, April, and Derek will come off camera, and they'll each take a couple of minutes. We'll just go in alphabetical order. April, I'm going to have you start and just share like where you came from, what you did before you were at Scripps, and what Scripps has meant to you. Okay?
Yeah, thanks, Deidre. So my name is April Yu, and I went to Berkeley and graduated in 2019. I did my undergraduate in environmental economics and policy, so very different from what I'm doing now. And then I went into consulting for a little bit before making the shift into the medicine field. I am also a part-time student, and I think in terms of what Scripps has meant to me, I think coming from like such a big university at Berkeley and then coming to like a smaller liberal arts college has really been, I think, like one of the key points of my life, because the professors are really, really like invested in your success and supporting you. And you get to really know them. And not only that, the advising team, Deidre and Sina and Dr. Priest, who is like our core advising team, they really make sure that we're well supported and that we have what we need. And that's something that really drew me to Scripps in the first place.
Thank you, April. I really appreciate your time. Derek, can you share your experience?
Yes. Hi. So my name is Derek Nguyen. And so prior to coming to Scripps, in undergrad, I went to the Naval Academy in Maryland, and I majored in economics initially. And following that, I commissioned into the Marine Corps, where I served for 5 years as a drone pilot. And it was there that I kind of decided to kind of switch gears and get start pursuing medicine as an alternate career. And since coming to Scripps, which I started this past summer in May, so I'm a full-time student, and one of the biggest benefits that I kind of want to say, and Deidre kind of mentioned it earlier, is this community, the cohort that we have, in addition to the connections that we get to interact with previous alumni as well, who are practicing physicians now or previous students, and talk about their experiences. But it really is a tight-knit community, and it's also evident in day-to-day life when we attend classes with not only with members of the cohort, but also with greater student body of the Claremont colleges in general. And you kind of, it's a very unique aspect about the program that, for me or for a lot of us career changers who have been quite removed from school, it's nice to just get back and be surrounded in a sort of like campus environment and interacting with faculty and students at the college itself.
Thank you, Derek. Greer, it's your turn.
Hi, I'm Greer. I'm UCLA class of 2019. Go Bruins. And I actually started UCLA as a psychobio major because I had these medical aspirations early on, and I made it maybe halfway through the Chem 14 series and decided I wasn't in the right place to pursue this with my life. So I switched to cognitive science and started going down a research path, like worked in a lab at UCSF after I graduated from UCLA. And I worked for a psychiatrist. He was an MD, PhD, and I started volunteering at a COVID clinic when the pandemic picked up. And I just realized that I wanted to go back to this route I previously envisioned for myself. And I learned about post-bac programs, and Scripps just seemed perfect for me because it's such a, sorry, I'm in our library right now, might be some background noise. It's such a tight-knit community, and like April was saying, so different than the big public school college experience. Like it's really, you really feel supported, and like you actually know your professors, and there's just a level of attention and support that I think is unmatched and makes the whole process of like actually getting your application out, so much less scary. Like when you have all this guidance and support and people making themselves available to you. So yeah, it's been great.
Well, a very special thanks to our students for taking time out of their busy academic schedules to be here, and to the UCLA Career Center and Christina for having us. Thank you for welcoming Scripps to the conversation. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dietra. Thank you, students, for sharing your story with us. You may have some questions. Oh, you already answered them. Great. KGI has a question in the Q&A, and we're gonna move on to our next presentation. And next up is Western University. Maya, take it over.
Thank you very much, Christina. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Give me one moment here to get us set up. Give me one quick second here. Okay. Okay, everyone can see my screen, hopefully. And I'm gonna go ahead and begin. Okay, so thank you so much for having me. I love joining you guys with the UCLA Jumpstart every year. So my name is Maya Smith, and I am one of the admissions counselor 3s here at Western University of Health Sciences. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about our Master's of Science in Medical Sciences program. So this is going to be a program that is kind of like some of the other programs that you heard about, that it is a academic enhancer for students that are looking to continue their education to go on to professional school. So that is going to be the majority of the presentation here today. And then I do have a real treat for you guys, as I do have several students here to speak about their time in the MSMS program. So for those of you who don't know where Western U is, Western University of Health Sciences is located in the city of Pomona. We're actually founded as an osteopathic medicine school in 1977 and have since then expanded into Western University of Health Sciences, where we now have 9 colleges and 27 degree programs. So the mission or the goal of our Master's of Medical Sciences program is to, oops, let me move this up a little bit. Oops, sorry, bear with me here. Is to prepare students for health-related professional school by educating them in the knowledge, critical evaluation skills and research awareness that will allow them to become well-informed, evidence-based professionals. We are looking to help students who may feel that their application may not be strong enough right out of undergrad to go into whether it be medical school or dental school or pharmacy school. And those students are looking to kind of hone in on their skills and to kind of prove what they can do in this master's program. So the vision of the program is designed to assist individuals from diverse backgrounds in gaining acceptance to professional schools with the ultimate goal of increasing the number of health professionals in underserved areas. So with that being said, oops, there we go. With that being said, our ideal candidate is someone who is someone that maybe be underrepresented in medicine, somebody that may have come from a disadvantaged or low socioeconomic background, students that have had to work their way through school, had to face some adversity while they were in school, students that come from homes whose parents maybe didn't go to college, maybe you're a first generation college student. So not that you have to have all these colors, but these are the type of students that we're looking for because we know that you guys may have had a hard time in undergrad that may have impacted your academics. And so we do want to see that, what you can do in this program because it's going to test you as the rigor of medical school. So it's just going to be able to prove yourself to show that, I can handle professional school. So we're going to move on from there. And then a little bit about the program. It's really to increase the number of underrepresented individuals in medicine. And so with that being said, they're looking for people that may be from rural backgrounds or people that want to work in rural areas or that want to help with the health equity gap. That would all kind of make you eligible for this program. So even if you want to work in these areas and you want to work in underserved areas, that is Western U's overall mission. We are very big on humanism, so we want to make sure that we are, helping the community as we do. We do serve, homeless populations, and it's very much a school that I would say somebody that is very compassionate. That is something that we would like to see. Like that is a type of the candidate that we're looking for. It's also to kind of help you hone in on your skills after the fact that we have the general population of the general population for, sorry, my recall time is a little off due to an illness, so I apologize if I lose my thoughts for a second. But it is to kind of help guide you in and help you get some grades or some metrics to show why you're in this program. And that's something that the general population that is applying to these professional schools doesn't have. So you actually add an advantage by being able to kind of show what you can do while you're in the program. And meanwhile, you're working with faculty of these actual professional schools, seeing as we do have a linkage, which I'll be talking about shortly. So, as mentioned previously, this is a 12-month program, so it is an intense, accelerated 12-month program. But like I said, it's supposed to be designed to show that you can handle the rigor of medical school or dental school or whatever professional program you're looking to go into. This program will be showing you, or should I say be testing you on your critical evaluation skills, your research-based knowledge and awareness, clinical decision-making, laboratory experiences, and literature evaluation, all while working closely with your cohort and faculty, to make sure that you are set up for success. So the program begins in June. And like I said, the program is it's almost June to June. It is May, but it's very close to June. So like I said, it is kind of a nonstop for about a year. And the GPA to get into the program is at least a 2.5. And students are expected to complete the program in that year. There have been case-by-case basis where if there were some other things that may have happened, if they would make sure that you had to at least the 6 months to complete the program if you had to step away. So the linkage program is what most students, I would say, are coming to our program for, because we are one of the largest comprehensive health institutions. Actually, we are the largest health institution on the West Coast. And so a lot of students are looking to come here so that they can link into one of our other programs. And so it is not a guaranteed linkage, but I can talk to you about that shortly, but you do have a very good chance of linking into whether it be our DO program, our dental school, our podiatric medicine, or our pharmacy program. So you are able to join this program without wanting to link into this, into one of our programs. You can use this and just get your master's degree and apply to whatever other school you might be interested in. That is also okay. But most students are interested in linking into one of our professional programs here at Western U. So in order to get into the program, you do need to have an admissions test. And so, for instance, if you're somebody that is pre-med, then you'd want to have your MCAT with you to apply to the program. If you're dental, obviously it would be the DAT. So you want to kind of look at your corresponding professional program that you want to get into and make sure you take that admissions test. Now, you are able to take this admissions test while you're in the program. However, it is highly recommended not to do that just because it is a very rigorous program. And so you really don't have time to study for something big like the MCAT. It's better that you take it before applying to the program. However, we have seen students do it. It's just probably not the best idea, just given the intensity of the program. So the course design and curriculum, it is going to be a cohort structure. So it is going to be team-based learnings, a lot of group discussions. So you are going to be able to get really close to your classmates, which is really good, especially for those of you that are going to be linking onto whether it be dental or medical school. You guys are kind of still with that same cohort. You guys are able to form study groups and just feel more comfortable with your class. Western U is very family-based. So I would say that it doesn't seem to be very competitive. It definitely seems to be a more family environment here. And that everybody wants everyone to succeed. And so it's going to be an accelerated load of basic biomedical sciences courses together with professional development. And so, like I said, it's really going to be for you to kind of hone in on those skills. So maybe some of your science courses you may not have done the best in undergrad. This is your time to shine in this program to show that, no, you actually can handle this work. You can handle the rigor, of whatever professional program you're looking to go into from there. And so you're going to be having exposure to research to increase your critical thinking skills and your academic advising. You're going to be working closely with some of your advisors who are faculty, and they happen to be faculty of the professional programs that you may be looking to link into. So that's always good when you're looking to, make an impression to get into one of these programs. It's good that you're already connecting with some of the faculty members while in the MS program. We do have tutoring services, and we have mentor and mentees, which is basically the alumni from the cohort. So students that basically were in the MS program that have graduated and now linked into whether it be our DO program or dental program or what have you. So the program is $27,785. So that is the annual tuition for the program at this time. There are opportunities for you to be able to get scholarships. We do have scholarships available. You just have to ask, and we'll be able to provide you with a little bit more information on how to maybe navigate finding a little bit of money to help fund your program. And now I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and I want to go ahead and introduce Martin Vasquez and Taylor Hodeggy. I have two students with us today from the MS program, and so I'm going to ask Taylor to go ahead and talk about her time in the MS program and how it has been helping her reach her professional goals.
Hi, so my name is Taylor, and as Maya mentioned, this program was a great fit for me because I had a lot of those pillars that she was talking about in terms of, having to work while being in school and not really having the best resume for applying directly into medical school programs. And I have to say that I'm really glad that I made this decision because it has really helped me grow a lot. For example, I was able to attack some of the shortcomings that I had that I knew would prevent me from being a competitive applicant and make me feel more confident in my ability to apply to any program, honestly. But I still, despite all of that, want to apply to the the Western University DO program because of a lot of the things that Maya had mentioned. For example, we were given the opportunity to complete research capstones, and I personally have only done research in undergrad as part of my course load. And I hadn't really had that experience before to work directly with a research coordinator and to, strengthen those kinds of foundational research skills. On top of that, I was able to connect with other physicians in the osteopathic field and shadow them as well. So I've gained a much stronger understanding of what osteopathic manipulative medicine is and how it can be beneficial to patients. On top of that, it was, and it has been very competitive. So like Maya was saying, I would recommend that you take your tests such as the MCAT or the DAT before you apply to the program. But ultimately, being able to take these very difficult courses has both strengthened my GPA and helped me be a better student so that I feel very prepared for whatever comes next.
Thank you, Taylor. And I also have Martin here with us. Martin, can you tell us a little bit about your experience in our MS program?
Yes. So prior to coming to the MS program, I had applied to medical school, and unfortunately, I didn't get in last year. So around this time, I pivoted to look into special master's programs, and Western came around, and I applied, and unfortunately, I got in. And my time here at Western has been amazing. Like, I've been able to make a lot of friends, and just the experience to grow professionally and academically as well. Like Taylor said, we've been able to do research. It was the first time that I've been able to work in a wet lab as well to do, right now I'm working with COVID-19 and just strengthening the different pillars that many medical schools look at. So my application has, now been reinforced, and fortunately, we're encouraged to apply to other medical schools and as Western as well. And fortunately, I've been able to get some interviews at other medical schools as well. So this program has really reinforced my medical school application. So I'm really fortunate that I was able to come here and just experience different academic rigor that this program does have. It is a little challenging, I'm not gonna lie, but honestly, the different courses that we do take, especially like anatomy during the summer, it's a 6-week program with the medical students. It's good, it's challenging, but honestly, like now it has prepared me for next year once this following fall, once I start medical school. Now I have something to lean back on now that I have anatomy down. But let me know if you have any questions about Western or the application process.
Thank you, Martin. I appreciate that. So if anyone has any last questions regarding the program, again, in a quick overview, in case a question pops up, we have a 12-month master's program, which is an academic enhancer. And so you do have the opportunity to link into one of our other professional programs. It can be the DO program, which is the medical school, or the dental program, pharmacy program, podiatric medicine as well. And so, and optometry. So we do have some, direct pathways for you if you guys are interested. If you feel like your application wouldn't be strong enough right now, you definitely should look into Western U's Master's in Medical Sciences program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maya and the Western team. And we are on time. So last but not least, I want to invite Valerie. She will be talking about the UC School of Medicine Postbac Program Consortium and also UC SFS program.
Good evening, everyone. I know everyone's sort of raring to get home, so I will try to be brief. So my name is Valerie Margol, and I work at the UCSF School of Medicine, and I oversee the School of Medicine Post-Baccalaureate program. I am actually going to be representing our program and all the other programs that are part of the UC Schools of Medicine Post-Baccalaureate Consortium. Also this evening, I'm joined by 2 of our alumni, Joanna Bedoy and Jane Fan. Both Joanna and Jane were in our post-bac program at the height of the pandemic. But the reason why I invited them today is because they are both first-year medical students in the UCLA Drew program. So they are there at UCLA, and they can talk about their experience in the post-bac program and then also as medical students. So I'm going to share my screen. I have a lot of slides because, as I mentioned, I'm going to be representing all 5 programs. I will try to go through them quickly, and then I will answer questions after I present, maybe while Jane and Joanna are speaking. So here we go. Right. Give me 1 second. All right. So as I mentioned, I'm representing the entire consortium. So our consortium includes UC Davis, UCLA Geffen, UC Irvine, UCSF, and Charles R. Drew University. We are a consortium. We have 1 free application for all 5 programs, and our deadlines for admission are below. So the application is open. The first-time applicant deadline for UC Irvine, UCSF, Charles Drew, and UC Davis is March 23rd. This is also UC Irvine's reapplicant deadline as well, and I'll explain that in a moment. The reapplicant deadline for UCSF and UC Davis is May 4th. The reapplicant deadline for Charles Drew University is July 5th. And the UCLA reapplicant deadline is July 6th. Note that UCLA is only a reapplicant program. They do not accept first-time applicants. So what is the consortium? What are the application criteria that we're looking for consortium-wide? So you need to be a California resident. We do accept undocumented and AB 540 students. You have to have an undergraduate degree from a U.S. college or university. We're looking for students who come from educationally or socioeconomically disadvantaged backgrounds and students who come from underserved communities. The consortium minimum average BCPM, which is biology, chemistry, physics, and math, is a 2.7. We do vary a little bit. The UCSF BCPM minimum average is a 2.8. For first-time applicants, no MCAT is necessary. However, if you are a reapplicant, we do want to see one. UCSF is looking for a minimum MCAT score of a 496 for a reapplicant or first-time applicants who took the MCAT prior to our program. All of our programs have prerequisites. They're the basic pre-med courses, so a year of biology with lab, a year of chemistry with lab, OChem with lab physics, and biochemistry. For all of you UCLA students, we understand that you don't have full years of chem and OChem, so it's basically your 14A through D series. We also, as I mentioned, have 1 online application. We require 3 letters of recommendation for our program. So 1 from a science professor, 1 for community service, and the 3rd letter can be a letter of your choice. UCSF actually prefers 2 letters from professors. The 2nd letter doesn't have to be a science professor. You're required to submit your official transcripts. And if you're a reapplicant, we expect to see a verified AMCAS or ACOMAS report. And what verified means is an application that shows your cumulative GPA and your BCPM. So how to find out more information. Here's information for the entire consortium. So take a screenshot of this real fast. You can find out more information about all 5 of our programs through the consortium website. You can ask questions of the consortium with this email or call the number listed here. So now I'm going to talk really briefly about each one of the programs in our consortium. So first, we're going to start with the UC Davis School of Medicine post-baccalaureate program. So like all of our programs, it's a 1-year program designed for educationally or socioeconomically disadvantaged students to become more competitive applicants for medical school. They accept first-time applicants and reapplicants, and students are expected to commit full-time to the program. They have 4 major components, including 36 units of biology, chemistry, physics, and math courses over an academic year. They do a summer MCAT course, and they help their students apply to medical school. And here's a quick view of their timeline. So the application, the interview process, they actually do 2 interviews for the program. Their program begins in September. Students take classes during the fall, winter, and spring quarters, and then they do their MCAT preparation the summer following their program. Nancy Galindo is their post-bac program coordinator, and her information is below. So take a screenshot quickly of that if you're interested in learning more about UC Davis. The UC Irvine School of Medicine post-baccalaureate program, again, also a 1-year program, academic enhancement program, just like all of our programs. Irvine's program is slightly different than the rest of us. They actually take science courses in the summer, so they start really quickly, which is why their first time and reapplicant deadlines are both in March, because they have to get their students enrolled in summer courses. Their students take 16 units during the summer, 12 units during the fall, 12 units during the winter quarter. And then their MCAT preparation actually occurs during the spring quarter. They do some work in the fall quarter, particularly on the critical reasoning section of the MCAT, but then they do an in-depth MCAT prep using Kaplan during the spring quarter. Their students take the MCAT after that time. They too have workshops helping their students with admissions, interviews, application preparation. They give one-on-one feedback for their application, and they have lots of opportunities for practicing mock interviews. Here's a brief slide about the support that UC Irvine offers their post-baccalaureate students. Again, they have admissions and AMCAS application advising. MCAT, they do tutoring through the UCI Learning Center. They have professional development opportunities, mentoring from alumni, current medical students, and physicians. And then they also have student wellness workshops and resources on campus available to all of their students. Their students interact with all the medical students. They're in the same building where they have all their classes at UC Irvine, and they have access to all of the undergraduate campus resources, such as fitness and wellness. Contact information is below here for the UC Irvine program. Next, I'm going to be talking about UCLA's RAP program. So as I mentioned before, UCLA's post-bac program is only for medical school reapplicants. Again, it's a 1-year comprehensive program designed to help students from disadvantaged and underserved backgrounds gain admissions to medical school. They have a reapplication plan for their students, MCAT preparation, learning skills evaluation and help. They do problem-based learning, inquiry-based learning. They do workshops on financial literacy, wellness, interview preparation, and also longitudinal mentorship. All of this information is here. If you want to find more information on the program, just click on the QR code below, and that'll bring you to the UCLA website. Just a note about UCLA, their final deadline for reapplicants is July 6th. However, they are encouraging any reapplicants to apply early. So the first round period is March 1st. And we do encourage everyone for all 5 programs to apply early. We all do rolling admissions, and it is to your advantage to apply early. UCLA's curriculum timeline is here on this slide. They start in the fall. They do some MCAT test prep, and they also have courses, and they run courses and test prep throughout the calendar year. And then summer is finalizing their applications and preparation. Next, I'm going to be talking about Charles R. Drew Post-Baccalaureate Program. They're the newest member of our consortium. They provide opportunities for students to strengthen their academic background in small classroom sizes, and they seek to optimize students' likelihood of success and personal advising in the post-bac program. And they have opportunities for their students to align with the mission of Charles R. Drew University, which is excellence in health and wellness for all in a world without health disparities. Highlights of Drew's program are rigorous academic science courses, small class sizes with supplemental instructors, intensive MCAT preparation, opportunities for clinical experience, well-being with student health and wellness, research opportunities, longitudinal pre-medical series, leadership series, and then also participation in different California pre-health conferences. And finally, the UCSF post-baccalaureate program, which I represent. Again, one thing that makes us slightly different from our colleagues in the consortium is our program is actually a graduate certificate level program. The other programs, you're considered a fifth-year undergraduate. We start our program with summer MCAT. Our MCAT, predominantly all the science components are taught by UCSF medical students who are trained. During the academic year, our students take upper division science classes at UC Berkeley Extension. We have a 9-unit graduate seminar at UCSF throughout the academic year. We do workshops on applying to medical school, such as writing a personal statement, interview skills, demystifying the application process. All of our students participate in an interprofessional quality improvement project. The UCSF Schools of Dentistry and Pharmacy also have a post-bac program, and some of the activities that we do with all 3 programs. Our students engage in a Health Disparities Journal Club, and then we provide one-on-one assistance to our students with our medical school application process. And more information is here below about the UCSF post-baccalaureate program. And finally, some quick statistics for UCSF. We've had 314 participants in our program to date. That does not include the current class. 276 applied to medical school. We currently have, that does not include the 10 students who are applying right now. 258, so it's a 93.4% acceptance rate to medical school of our students have been accepted to medical school. The majority of our students remain in California to go to medical school, so 68% matriculated to a California medical school, 62% to a UC medical school, and about 20% to UCSF. So finally, what do all of our programs have that, why are our students so successful? We provide preparation for professional school that includes academic enhancement, professional development, personal growth, opportunities for reflection, mentorship, and community. And like all of the programs that you've heard about this evening, our students have small communities where they get to know each other and they develop close bonds and cohorts. And with that, I'd like to introduce both Jane and Joanna. They know what they need to speak about. So why don't we start with Jane and then we'll go to Joanna.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Jane. I went to UC Berkeley for undergrad. I went to UCSF for my post-bac. And now I'm currently at UCLA and I'm a first year. So what I think makes the UCSF post-bac program really special for me is that it taught me all these like almost unknowable or ungoogleable things about this extremely stressful and confusing process and made it approachable and fun for me and also good for my mental health. And even though I was in the COVID year, all of our classes were online and we weren't technically in person, I could really say that I've never felt such a kind and helpful cohort in like pre-med before. Everybody is so sweet, always watching out for each other, like reminding each other about things. And I think that's something that's really hard to get anywhere and was a really big reason why I applied and did my post-bac at UCSF. There's personalized guidance and support every step of the way. And I think when you're going through this whole process, there's just, it's so tiring and it's so hard and it's easy to get down on yourself that you really need a good support system. And everybody was just extremely kind and helpful. And I had no idea, even going in, that I needed to go into this program this much. More about the post-bac program, about their curriculum. They have the MCAT assistance and going to classes with people every day and going through the same things and helping each other pick up where you left off is really helpful. Having
guidance sessions with Valerie and others one-on-one was really helpful as well. And also editing and writing our personal statements was, I think, essential to being able to get to where I am today. And also things that I take with me to medical school is just how to set realistic goals for myself, how to practice self-compassion, how to organize and learn the best study habits for me. And I don't think I've ever had so much growth academically in 1 year that is even comparable to going through the post-bac. So I have no regrets, and I'm so glad that I've been through this.
Thank you, Jane.
Yeah, of course.
So Joanna.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Joanna, and I actually went to UC Davis for undergrad, so go Aggies. And I did my post-bac at UCSF, and now I'm at UCLA, part of the CDU program with Jane, which is really exciting because, as she mentioned, we were the Zoom cohort, so it was actually really interesting and funny to see each other for the first time in person, almost, I guess, a year after finishing our program, which was really great. But if I'm honest, and I think I have a lot of similarities on what I loved about the program, like just as Jane mentioned, is really how small and tight-knit the program was, because something that I'm learning now that I'm in medical school is how important it is to find people that you, I guess, relate to and that you have similar common goals, and just finding that support system. And as an undergrad, and especially as a first generation student who struggled a little bit in undergrad, it was really empowering to find people who had the similar experience as I did, and really getting to help each other through that. And so that's something that I definitely really loved about it. And if that's how you really love to learn and you think that that would be beneficial to you, I would definitely recommend it. And as well, I was really just grateful for all of the mentorship that was given to us, of course, from Valerie, but we also had medical students from the UCSF medical school assigned to us. And I will say that my personal mentor actually even helped me after the program with editing my statements, got me into a job. It was my first like real life big girl job in a research lab. So I was really just grateful for all of the kind of mentorship that was provided. We all got a physician assigned to us too. So having that mentorship from a physician who had a similar experience as I did, he was Latino as well. I went to UC Davis, and really just getting to sort of have someone convinced me that I was meant to be in medicine and that it's something that I could do was super invaluable. And I absolutely loved everything that I did. And I think the last thing that I wanted to touch upon that I thought was really special about our program was the fact that we did interprofessional activities with the different programs, which really taught us, honestly, the importance of working together as a team. Because now that I'm in medical school, I'm really interacting with, different people, and I guess learning the importance of valuing other people as well, from different areas of the health field, because it is super diverse. So whether it's like, social workers or people in dental school, nursing school, like it's really important, and getting to work together with people from different backgrounds, different majors, obviously different health interests was super amazing. And my specific project was based on racism and its impacts in the health system. So especially that topic is so relevant to medical school right now, and learning how to problem solve with people, real life issues that impact us was amazing. So I don't know, I have so much to say, but yeah, if anyone has any questions, just type them in the chat.
Thank you to both of you.
Thank you very much for everybody who presented. And Auntie just logged on and has a question in the Q&A. And I think it's a very important question to all of us. So if our student panelists wouldn't mind to answer this question, that what did you feel helped your application to the post-bac program stand out? Feel free to type in some answers for that question or speak up. I'll be happy to hear your answers. And there is another question for the UC programs, Valerie, if you want to answer it live or if you want to type in an answer because it's an MCAT prep. So student panelists, I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. I know how busy you are with your studies. So if you want to have a final recommendation for our current students still on the call on how to stand out in their application for post-bac programs or later on medical, dental, nursing school programs, feel free to share it.
Something that I'm not sure about how all the different applications look, but I think something that really stands out is a lot of us have similar experiences, whether it's like working in a clinic or working with an underserved population, or maybe like studying abroad and volunteering. I think a lot of it is about your reflection, and that's what's going to make you stand out, like why it's meaningful to you and why it's meaningful to do this kind of work, whether or not it's exactly what you know you're going to do. I think speaking from the heart and really digging deep about why this matters to you will make you stand out.
Thank you, Jane. Taylor, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, I agree a lot with Jane. I think that the application process is a very personal experience, and the more authentic you are, the more you stand out. I think the more that you try to be the most competitive or the strongest applicant, sometimes what makes you the best applicant or the best fit for the field that you're looking to enter kind of can get a little lost in your enthusiasm. Not to say that it's not important to be very enthusiastic, because, you know, this is a very competitive field, and it can be very stressful going through the admissions process. But just be patient. And like Jane said, be true to what makes you like this field. And I think that that comes across very clearly when you're interviewing and when you're writing about yourself.
Thank you for that. Dara?
Hi. So I have to agree with Jane and Taylor. They articulated it really well, and I can speak as someone who was a little bit below the minimum cutoff, the stated minimum cutoff for the program that I applied to. That I think what really, and I didn't review my own application for admission here, but I think what really helped was my articulation. I had time to sit and reflect and think about, you know, why I wanted to pursue medicine. What was this, you know, what was this goal of mine? Not only what did it mean to me, but how I felt I could contribute. And I think that that really helped. And I think that's important to do anyways for, you know, for students that are looking to go into whatever professional school you're looking to go into. I think that's an important thing to do.
Anyone else from the KGI student team or Western? Hi, Ruchi.
Hi. Yes, I just want to echo what Dara, Taylor, and Jane are saying. I completely agree with being authentic with why you not only want to pursue a post-bac or an MS program, but also why you want to go into the medical field. And then I also want to touch on, for those who are applying or are thinking about applying, it's important to really research the programs that you're looking at and try to understand which programs would be a good fit for you, because it's where you'll be spending your time. And it's important to understand what you can really get out of our programs.
Thank you very much again for being here. I'm gonna stop the recording and if I can find the button.